Hello and welcome. I am Bob Peterson, a technical specialist with Microsoft Corporation. This video is an expansion of the Dynamics 365 supply chain topics presented in the original shorter teaser video. Customers migrating from older versions of Dynamics AX will benefit from major improvements made to D365. Plus, they can avoid some of the risks and expense of adding external ISV applications. We focus on modules and functionality introduced in the 12 years since AX 2009 was released. Some of this appeared in AX 2012, and much of it has been enhanced in D365. Note the supply chain list. The first 6 are highlighted in blue. Mainly, we will look at these enhancements to manufacturing, warehouse management, Dynamics Commerce and Retail, and Enterprise Asset Management. We will focus on these 6 modules. Manufacturing saw the addition of lean and process production modules. Let's get started. We can take a look at process manufacturing first. AX 2009 had one model for production, discrete manufacturing. Discrete is great where production is quantity one with little variability in yields, raw material consumption, and outcomes. Process manufacturing in AX 2012 R3 introduced batches, formulas, co-products, yields, and rework. This is mandatory in food product, CPG, and pharmaceutical companies. The formula could define a model for releases of batch quantities of more than one. Expected yields could be based on historical models. Raw material could be issued to reflect possible loss. Active and compensating ingredients can be defined in the recipe. A percentage change in the active ingredient will automatically call out a change in the compensating and filler materials. For example, when you process some products, like chickens, your outcome is the co-products of thighs, wings, breasts, and legs. Process allows you to get multiple finished goods from a single raw material. Batch attributes can be assigned to inventory items as well as customers, requiring specific item characteristics. Meat products, for example, can be shipped to order based on fat, moisture, and protein content. Note the attribute values and ranges defined for these in the Dynamics print screen at the right. Values must fall within these ranges or the material is rejected. At the point of sales order or raw material issue to production, the batch attribute can be specified. In a discrete bill of materials in AX 2009, you could define the BOM and routing for a quantity 1. In a formula or recipe in AX 2012 and D365, you define the batch size and the resources to make more than quantity 1. You can create a cost model to reflect the cost of a batch or Unit 1 model. You may use a planning formula to designate the raw material consumed to get multiples of same or different finished products. If you are a metal stamping operation, for example, you can take a sheet of steel and optimize it to stamp individual finished goods from that same sheet. Byproducts are also part of the formula. Those can be consumed into future batches as regrind or drop or sold off as the byproduct. Code of Federal Regulations 21 Part 11 was added to AX 2012 to provide electronic signature for the food and pharmaceutical industries. Companies can now adhere to FDA and other requirements for compliance and traceability by providing a way to attach the signature of designated persons on specific business processes. An example might be to apply a signature to a finished goods post of a batch order. Quality assurance specs can be tracked to the batch in addition to applying the appropriate electronic signature. In process manufacturing, formula batches can vary based on material, machine, and production environments. Maybe the humidity affects the baked good yields. Maybe the machine is not handling the material properly. If the finished good needs to be modified, Dynamics Process Manufacturing can allow you to rework it. Rework might require recipe or routing changes to complete the intended batch outcome. You can assign a new batch number to the reworked finished goods that refers to the original batch number. Scalable formulas can now be created using process manufacturing. We first define whether the raw ingredient is an active or compensating ingredient. For example, the raw material potency of a chemical might vary based on the variety of purchased batches of that same chemical. To adjust the formula back to normal, the system automatically adjusts the compensating ingredient using a predefined compensation principle. Filler material can also be dialed up or down to perfect the composition of the formula. Other formula ingredients can be specified as none or no impact. Now let's look at warehouse management and transportation management. Warehouse management was acquired in July 2013 from the Dynamics ISV Blue Horseshoe for version AX 2012. It features advanced warehouse management, supporting all inbound and outbound inventory tasks, also supporting directed putaways and wave picking, location and palletizing functions. RF and handheld devices support automatically generated work. Also, barcode and labeling, load and shipment building with TMS integration. The WMS in Dynamics is built using fundamentals like locations and zones, containers and pallets, and actions like directed picks and putaways, counting, and label printing. Directives provide the logic to combine these pieces to tell the worker what work is to be performed at the location. The WMS work list in Dynamics shows all the open, pending, and closed work in the warehouse. The WMS supports all inventory transactions in the system like sales and purchase orders, production and lien orders, transfers and inventory movements, and cycle counts. Waves are defined to group like work into logical chunks. Microsoft Power BI is integrated to the WMS for analysis and reporting in a built-in WMS workspace. Tiles and views can be created and added to the workspace. Users can filter and look at WMS data like shipping performance, inbound performance, location inventory accuracy, and warehouse utilization. Go to http://apps.microsoft.com to find the Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations warehouse application. The app works on phones, mobile, and handheld devices to support all WMS transactional work. Label printing can be controlled from the handheld. The app can be customized and modified to support only the WMS work that applies for your user and your warehouse. The transportation management system extends the WMS functionality from the warehouse out to the docks and trucks. A load building workbench is included to build and combine loads and shipments. Shipments can be processed for freight interaction on the rate and route workbench. The TMS can be supplied with all shipper, route, and rate table data. The routes show the logical paths for shipping the cheapest or fastest way. All packing slips, bills of lading, and customs docs are available in TMS. A dock management system is included to schedule deliveries and provide appointment time slots for drivers. Freight handling is part of TMS. When the load is built, you can tie the load to a new or existing shipment. Containers can be defined to handle the weight and volume parameters of the load. Containers can be loaded to pallets and assigned a license plate. The license plate becomes the master record number to hold and track all the load, shipment, customer, and item references. Since the rate tables for all carriers can be online, the route and shipment scheduler for the order can assign to any freight carrier that meets the distance and lowest cost parameters. Freight bills will be invoiced to the shipper and will be included in the shipment cost. Freight can be defaulted to be a cost to the customer or purely absorbed into overall sales order cost. Dynamics for Retail had a new release in 2020 with new major functionality. Product was renamed Dynamics 365 for Commerce. Let's take a look. Dynamics Retail, released in AX 2012 as an omni-channel retail system unifying the back office, in-store, call centers, and e-commerce. Modern POS and mobile POS support are both featured as configurable interfaces across multiple hardware devices and platforms. In Dynamics 365 Commerce, customers can now create, customize, and deploy retail websites using the new Commerce functionality. Dynamics 365 Commerce releases in 2020 as one Dynamics product, bringing all the pieces together as a single solution to provide a delightful shopping journey for consumers across the different touch points. Also this year, Dynamics provides the Commerce Scale Unit. It is a set of features that supports selling products in a store that has inconsistent internet connectivity to a back office or headquarters. The Commerce Scale Unit is designed specifically for in-store operation and enables cross-terminal transactions and shift operations despite poor internet service. AX 2012 Retail provided the systems for point of sale, mobile point of sale, headquarters store management, and connections to major e-commerce website solutions. Dynamics for Commerce extends base sales and inventory for sales promotions, customer catalogs, assortments, store hierarchies, product variants and attributes, and channel management. Dynamics for Commerce eliminates the need to use third-party e-commerce software providers. Dynamics Fraud Protection is new this year, currently in a preview mode. Fraud Protection provides a way to define customer rules for online purchases. When you start the system, users automatically log into a fraud protection dashboard. You see one of the dashboard elements at the right. We provide a real-time view to online transactions by categories of fraudulent and non-fraudulent. These transactions are then tagged as customer catch rate and customer friction. The Dynamics for Commerce product is integrated to Dynamics Fraud Protection. A new third payment network was added to Dynamics Commerce recently, in addition to MasterCard and Verifone. The Adyen payments platform is now available to Dynamics Commerce and integrates via the Dynamics Commerce Adyen payments connector. You can see the setup screen here for using the out-of-the-box Adyen connector. Adyen is a global, tried-and-true payments provider with a customer base including Uber, Pinterest, eBay, and Spotify. Check out our latest Dynamics 365 Commerce customer stories at dynamics.microsoft.com. They include UPS, Lowe's, and Columbia Sportswear. Lean manufacturing was an ISV acquisition of IP created by Ibex in 2012. The application was part of AX 2012 R3 by Microsoft. The lean manufacturing architecture in Microsoft Dynamics 365 consists of production flows, activities, and Kanban rules. You can use lean manufacturing in a mixed mode, make-to-order, make-to-stock manufacturing environment that combines various supply, production, and sourcing strategies. Note the Hayunka scheduling board on the right. Much of Lean in Dynamics is based on the concepts of Kaizen by Toyota. Note the bold red line. This is a visual cue to the user that current demand is exceeding the fixed capacity for the work cell. Adjustments can be made to capacity or current Kanban slotting to fix this. It simulates the traditional scheduling whiteboard used on many production floors. A planner could simply pick up and move one or more of the orders for that date in or out to fix the plan and eliminate the red bar capacity feedback. Kanbans work in a pull production model. Pulling a Kanban card from the bin or scheduling board causes all activities to flow based on the rules and details on the Kanban card. By contrast, a traditional AX 2009 discrete production model pushes demand through an MRP planning model with production orders, data collection, and other sorted actions. Note the Kanban process board on the right of the screen. Kanbans can be highlighted and moved to a finished state. Kanbans can be used for production or inventory transfers. When you create Kanbans, you specify the planning model, production flow model, quantity in the Kanban, and the number of Kanbans to provide a sufficient lead time for planning. Kanbans can be used to reflect the common models for make-to-order and make-to-stock scenarios. Lean uses scheduled, fixed, and event Kanbans. Event Kanbans can be tied to a make-to-order customer sales order line. An event could also be a production order material release. Fixed Kanbans can simulate an inventory minimum stocking level replenishment. When a Kanban is moved or consumed, a new fixed Kanban can replace the original Kanban. Scheduled Kanbans can support a demand forecast scenario to flatten production demand in a make-to-stock plan. In the screen on the right, we see some Kanban planning rule examples. A lean production flow defines the activities for production and inventory transfer processes. A flow will also have a takt time, which defines the amount of time from activity start of quantity 1 until the start time of the next unit. Driving down takt times increases customer value and is part of the goal of lean manufacturing. Eliminating work orders used in traditional discrete systems like AX 2009 lets users place their efforts into adding customer value in the lean supply chain process. Dynamics Enterprise Asset Management, or EAM, was introduced this year. EAM is a Dynamics ISV IP acquisition from Dynaway Corporation that allows manufacturers and service companies to provide ongoing and break-fix services for internal and customer-owned machines, equipment, and hardware assets. EAM controls the entire acquire-to-retire process. EAM includes asset and location records, maintenance and scheduling, fixed assets integration, budgeting and analysis, and mobile and customer portal connections. Asset management takes two approaches. One, users can take a corrective break-fix approach. We see this in the activity flow in the slide drawing. Observation and user or IoT feedback says something is wrong with the unit. A tech is dispatched to analyze the problem and prescribe the solution. Spare parts can be ordered via purchase orders. Repair and maintenance history is attached to the asset records. 2. Preventive maintenance schedules for assets can be created. Future work orders and PMs are executed on a consistent and timely basis. Monitoring field assets via IoT gives feedback for additional visibility and analysis. The EAM system is connected to the Dynamics production systems, so machine maintenance affects the available resource capacity for manufacturing execution. The EAM system is connected to the Dynamics production systems and project, so machine maintenance affects the available resource capacity for manufacturing execution. In the example in the screen on the right, we see the asset EX201 will be down for 3 days for a break-fix work order. Dynamics takes this asset downtime into account and automatically schedules around it. The EAM system also includes a customer portal to view scheduled maintenance and work order statuses. A tech resource assignment schedule board is also planned. Consignment orders is a relatively new feature in Dynamics 365 F&O. Consignment inventory is inventory that is owned by the vendor, but stored at your site. A vendor consignment warehouse is created in your site warehouse. When you're ready to consume or use the inventory, you take over the ownership of the inventory. You created the consignment site, vendor items, and you create the consignment replenishment orders as needed. The vendor is notified. The vendor's on the hook to replenish the inventory. You do the inventory receipt. The vendor then monitors the on-hand inventory as well as the consumption of the inventory. The inventory is owned by the vendor until it is consumed by you. The PO to vendor is auto-generated at this point to allow for ownership, receipt, and cost. Thank you for your time today. You can find more about our Microsoft Dynamics Assessment Program at aka.ms/D365migrate.